Hello and welcome to another episode. In today's episode, I am going to be explaining what is a while loop. But before we get started, if you are new to my channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button. If you like this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. And if you want to get notified every time that I upload a new video, please check the ring bell. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, everybody, so to get started in today's episode, I need you to open the same website that we have been coding so far with. Please open as well the code that we have been typing in JavaScript here. And as well, I want you to open MDN. So you will go to MDN, and on the search bar, I need you to type in the word loops, and you're going to select the first article that you see in there. Once you do that, it's going to drop you to this page. You're going to scroll a little bit down and you're going to click in the loop that says while statement right here. Or you can simply look for it by scrolling down. But I'll just click on while statement so that we are in the page that we need to be. Okay, so let's get to the point. What is a while statement? A while statement or a while loop is simply a loop like the one that we saw yesterday, the for loop. But this one is a little bit different. Let's read a little bit in MDN so that you can have an idea in what is a while loop. So a while statement will execute its statement as long as a specified condition evaluates to true. And it'll look as follow, like in here. So let me explain you in human words or in human terms what is a while loop. So we could say that a while loop is a way for you to repeat a set of instructions until a specific condition is no longer true. Okay, so it's like if you ask someone to perform a task repeatedly until a certain goal is achieved, then a certain condition will be met, right? So just imagine that you want to count how many, let's say, how many steps there are in a room, right? You do not know exactly how many steps there are in a room, right? So you might start by taking one step and then, checking if you have reached the other end of the room. That's typically what I'll do if I am just trying to count how many steps a room has, right? So you will do this over and over again until you reach the next wall, let's say, right? So this is similar in how the while loop works in JavaScript. In a while loop, you have a set of instructions that are repeated until a specific condition is no longer true. Okay? So that's what a while loop is. Now, let me go ahead and show you the syntax for a while loop. As you can see in here, we have the while, the keyword while. Then you will see in parentheses a condition. And then it's going to be followed by a statement, as it says in here. So let me just give you an example into our code so that you can have a better understanding in how a while loop will look like, right? So let's go ahead and let's open our website in here. I have here the console open as well, and I'm going to open my Visual Studio Code. Okay, so this is our code that we did for the for loop yesterday. Hope that you have taken a look at that chapter. If not, you can go back to our previous episode. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's create a while loop. And the first thing that we need to use, it says that it's the keyword while. But before using the keyword while, what we want to do is set up or let's say build a variable, right? We're going to create a variable. So the first thing we'll do is just use the word let or whatever, keyword works for you to create a variable. You can use many, as you already know. So we use the keyword let, and then let me create a variable with the keyword count. So let count equal to 0. I'll just create a variable with the name of count, and this count is going to equal to 0. Now, the next thing I want to do is use the while loop, right? So we're going to say while, and then we open parentheses, which is where we're going to type in, as it says here. Let me just go back to MDN. It says here, while, then we create a condition in the parentheses. So let's go ahead and let's open up a condition. If the count is let's make something easy and let's just say if the count is less than 5. I'll just make it an easy number, right? So if the count is less than 5, and then we are going to type in here, as you can see, the statement, right? Now to type in the statement, here they did not specify that you have to add curly brackets, but you have to, okay? So I'm going to open curly brackets, and then inside I am going to say console.log, and then we're going to use the word count, okay? And as soon as you do that, then we just need to tell our code how many times do I want to repeat this. So I'm going to count with increment, right? So let me go ahead and explain you this. As you can see, for right now, the syntax for the while loop is a little bit similar than the syntax for the for loop, right? But they're not the same. As you can see here in the for loop, we first initialize, then we add the condition, and then we state whether it's going to increment or decrease, if it's going to increase or decrease something, right? So in this case, we are doing something different. So as you can see here, we first declare the variable outside of the parentheses. Then we use the keyword while. Then we set up the condition, which is to make the count be less than 5. Then we open curly brackets. We say, hey, console.log count, and increase the count every time until the number is if the number is less than 5, right? So that's what we're saying to our code. Now let's take a look and see how this works and how this looks like into our code. So I'm going to hit save. Going back to our document, let's hit refresh. And there you go. As you can see, we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So we have this display because the count started at 0. And you can change this count. I mean, you can make the count starts at 2. If I hit save now and I hit refresh, then it's going to be 2, 3, 4 only, right? So you set up the initial value of your variable, and then you specify in the condition until when this is going to repeat. And of course, you give some instructions here if it's going to console.log or, do something else. Right now, we are only using console.log to keep this simple for you. That way you don't get confused, okay? We're going to do things way more difficult in later episodes. But for now, I just want you to get familiar with the syntax and what is a while loop and just have the foundations of this, okay? So I am going to give you another example here. Let's do something else. I'm going to delete all this, and we're going to set up another example. So let the number equal to 1, let's say, right? And then while, in parentheses, the number is less or, let's say, less or equal to 10, then we're going to console.log this number, right? And then we're going to say number increment, okay? Remember, plus plus is to increment. If you want to decrease something, then you are going to use minus minus, okay? Simple as that. Okay, so being stated that, now we're going to hit save. Going back to our code, let's hit refresh. And now we have the numbers from 1 to 10 because I specify this in the condition. If the number is less or equal to 10, then console.log this number over and over again until it reaches to 10. Now, you are probably asking yourself, what is, like the difference or the main difference between the for loop and the while loop if at your perspective, as of now, they look like they're doing exactly the same thing, right? So look, this first piece of code, which is for the for loop, is typically used when you know exactly how many times you want a loop to repeat. So you already know the answer of something, let's say, right? And you just want to repeat that thing over and over again, then you use the for loop. So in this case, let's say the loop here, in this case right here, so the loop itself will repeat the command to log hello everyone to the console 10 times, right? And the loop knows that it will stop after 10 iterations. That's what this code is saying, which is what you can see in here. We take a look in here. So this one is saying it's only 10 times, and that's it, right? Okay, now this piece of code uses a while loop, as you know already, which is used if you want a loop to continue running as long as a certain condition is true. So in this case right here, the loop will repeat the command to log numbers to the console as long as the variable named number, right? This variable right here, which is named number, is less than 5. So the main difference between the for loop and the while loop is that in the for loop how many times this code has to be repeated, and in the while loop you do not have that answer. You do not know how many times this is going to happen. It's like if you, let's say as an example, there is a user, you create a game, right? And the user has to guess which number you have, let's say, coded, right? Then you do not know what that user is going to input. That user could input 1, 5, 10, whatever the case might be, right? Whatever numbers they might be when they're trying to guess what number you programmed. So in that scenario, you will use a while loop because you want to keep that code running until the user reaches the code that you have established as, until the user reaches the number that you have established as the number winner, right? So that's pretty much about it. That's what a while loop is. That's how you can use it. Now you know the syntax. Now you know the difference between a for loop and a while loop. So I hope everything has been clear. But however, if you still have questions about these two, just drop me a comment in the comment section below, and I will check it out and I will reply as soon as I can. Okay, everybody, so that was it for today's episode. I hope you liked it. If you did, remember to give me a thumbs up. That really helps my channel. And if you want to get notified every time that I upload a video, make sure to hit that ring bell. And remember that you can always ask Lixi. Bye, everyone, and see you again in the next episode.